Hi, Sarah. Can you introduce us to Tequila?
Hello, Katie. Yeah, this is Tequila. She's a super sweet little yellow-sided green cheek conure.
Oh, um, do we know if Tequila is male or female?
We don't. We're going with female. She has been seen by a vet, and they just did a little visual comment whilst they were doing their physical exam. There's no way to know without doing a DNA test. We don't do those unless it's medically necessary, so we don't know for sure. We're just going with she. Tequila is a pretty neutral name, and I don't think she minds either way. So yeah, we're going with she, but we don't know for sure.
I don't know. Somehow looking at her, I think this is a young bird. Do we have any idea of how old Tequila is?
We think she's about 4. We did get we got some information from the previous owner, and I think she bought them. She had 3 birds, and she got them all around about the same time. I think they were all 4.
Got it. My next question is Tequila tame? And I can see the answer must be yes to some degree.
Yeah,
watching this video.
Yeah, she's super friendly. She really likes to have company and attention. She loves to be out on your shoulder. If you walk by, she talks as well, and she'll say tequila, and she'll start making little green cheek conure squeaks to get your attention. And you can see the excited dancing. There's no music playing. She's just really thrilled that she's out with her people. And the 2 of us were in the room here, and she's kind of dancing on my husband's feet, and then she kind of struts up and down his legs a few times. And yeah, like, she's not afraid of hands, and she loves to be out with people. She'll sit on your shoulder quite happily. She's very friendly. The first day that I took her out, she was very beaky, but she'd just been moved from her only home that she knew, and she was very unsure what was happening. So that was a big change, and we just kind of gave her a lot of space. But within another couple of days, she was really friendly and stepping up and just wanted to hang out.
Oh yeah, just like, yeah, I'll use your finger to rub my head.
Yeah, she does a lot of
not
beak
so
wiping.
interested in stepping up, it looks like.
No, she was happy with the feet, but she will step up. She's been pretty easy to handle since we got to know each other.
We have an audience question about tequila. Well, a general audience question. What's the life expectancy of a green cheek conure?
With good diet and good care, green cheek conures can live up to 30, even 35 years.
Okay, so yeah, 4 years is a young bird.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them don't make it that far because we see a lot of them come in with a seed diet, and Tequila was on a seed diet. It's really important that they get fresh veggies every day and a blend of pellets. So we've been working, and her diet has improved a lot. But yeah, if you just get them an all seed diet, then they're going to end up with heart disease and the need for daily medication, more in their middle age. So most conures won't make it to 30 or 35 unless they really have an exemplary lifestyle with a lot of exercise and healthy fresh food, as well as pellets, not just a seed mix. And that's really important to frame the life expectancy part. And then unfortunately, in captivity, a lot of conures don't make it to that age because of accidents, interactions with other pets. Falling asleep on your bird is very dangerous. They're very small and fragile. So yeah, we see a lot of birds coming in that have suffered from those accidents and survived but need medical help. So yeah, there's a lot of things that contribute to life expectancy, but 30 years is absolutely possible with the right home.
Got it. And as a reminder to our audience, if you have other questions, you can type them in the Q&A in Zoom or right into the video feed on Facebook. Do we know if Tequila is good with children?
We haven't had any experience. So she only came in the end of April 30th. Okay. So she's very new to Mickaboo, and we haven't had any kids around her. She is pretty friendly. So I'd say with older children who know to not be too high energy, don't make sudden movements, be gentle. I'm pretty sure she'd happily shoulder surf on them or hang out on their arm. I'd be careful with younger children. You know, it goes both ways. If she felt threatened, then she might get beaky. But also, you know, really young kids, it's really up to the adults to make sure that they're holding them safely. You know, they have very fragile feet and legs, and we want to be careful. But yeah, with the right supervision and handling, she is a pretty friendly bird. So once she gets to know you, I think she could have good experiences with kids that were, you know, given good advice on how to interact with her.
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you. What are Tequila's typical behaviors? It looks like she's definitely delighted to be out hanging out with the humans that she knows and is comfortable with.
Yeah, lots of fun interaction and dancing. You can see there's a lot of excited head bobbing and dancing. She does enjoy chewing on palm shredder toys. She's got a palm shredder toy in her cage, which is her favorite thing, and she's slowly ripping it to pieces. But she is pretty happy hanging out on your shoulder, going where you go. So, you know, lots of attention and just enrichment by having things to look at and being with you and talking to you. I think she could learn a lot more words because she says tequila pretty clearly, and she probably says other things that I just haven't had the opportunity to figure out yet as well. She's pretty interested in squeaking to get your attention and making vocalizations. So I think she'd be a great candidate for, you know, enrichment programs, teaching her new words, teaching her, there's a lot of little trick toys that you can get for birds to get them to put rings on a little acrylic hoop or put a ball through a hoop. And I think that kind of thing would be really fun for her. She's very comfortable interacting with people. So giving her little fun games to play, I think could be a lot of fun for her.
Got it. We have a question from Facebook. How is her flight? I think that means flying skill.
Right. Her wings have got a funny trim right now. I don't know if you can see in the video, but her left wing is trimmed and her right wing is not. I think maybe she might have had a wing trim that was a bit interesting. We don't recommend doing one-sided wing trims. I don't know if that's just because it's partly grown out or if that was just, you know, someone who didn't understand the implications of doing a one-sided wing trim that could really, that's not helpful for the bird. They can't fly straight. She can fly.
A balance problem, I would think.
Yeah, we don't recommend that. But she can fly. She's flown to her cage. She hasn't flown to me from her cage. But unfortunately, in the last week, I've been bird sitting another bird that's quarantined in my office up here. So she's been very sad. She hasn't had as much out time the last week. She'll get back out again next week when the bird sitting finishes. But yeah, she can fly. But most of the time she just like strutting about either on top of her cage or getting onto you. I think she might do more flying once her wings are evened out.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Speaking of cages, how big is her cage, or how big is a good sized cage for a green cheek?
So for conures, we recommend that their cage is at least 24 inches by 24. She came in a small cage. So I don't know if you can see it in this video clip. It's on the back at the right there. It's a bit of a house style. It's really more of a budgie cage. And even for budgies, it's taller than it is wide. And we would usually recommend that the cage, the most important dimension is the width, because birds, even when they, you know, if they fly forwards, not up. So they really need a nice wide cage. So I'd love to see her in something like an HQ flight cage, which is about 30 inches wide and 21 inches deep.
Something similar to what we saw Michael in earlier.
Yes, something like that. That would be a great size for her. She does enjoy out time, and that's important for enrichment, not just exercise. But that would be a really good cage for her. The cage that you can see in the back there, she got moved in with that for pure logistical reasons. She's still living in that right now, but we're doing a 30-day AGY check because she was living with two budgies, which we don't recommend, but the former owner had housed her in the same cage as two budgies. Unfortunately, one of them was very sick and passed away within a day of the birds coming into Mickaboo. We noticed straight away something was off when we rushed all 3 of them to the vet to get checked out, and he didn't make it. The other budgie is getting medication for AGY, avian gastric yeast, for 30 days, and we'll do a check on Tequila in 30 days. Well, I think it's going to be less than 2 weeks now. And it's not very common in conures, so we're not medicating, but we'll check just to make sure that it hasn't been picked up. Anyway, she deserves and will get placed into a bigger cage as we play musical birds here and get everyone moved into longer term foster homes. I was a kind of a landing spot to get all 3 birds in and figure out what was going on with the one that didn't look well. And then she'll get placed with a foster home that can give her a lot more care and attention until we get her adopted out. I don't think it's going to take very long though, because she's so friendly.
She's very cute. She is very cute.
You know, you talk about the perfect bird. I think the hard part for her is going to be every time you walk past her, you're going to want to take her out and spend time with her, even when you probably have things that you need to do.
So you did mention that she's in the middle of a 30-day watch period, just to make sure that she didn't get avian gastric yeast, which would be unusual, but not impossible for a conure. Beyond that, do you anticipate that she needs any other special care?
No, she should have an annual health check, which is really important because birds do hide their illness. So, you know, watching their poop and weighing them regularly. She's on the lower side. She's 68 grams, which is pretty low for conure. You know, somewhere in the 70s is usually what we expect. She might just be small. So keep an eye on her weight, keep working on her diet. She does eat fresh veggies. She's picked up bell peppers, a little bit of carrot, and obviously she does enjoy fruit. That's the easy stuff. And we're getting her to eat nutrient cakes, which are a nice stepping stone away from a seed mix. They have seeds in them. And she picks up chunks of those in her feet and holds them and nibbles on them. And then there's pellets in there too. So she has eaten some pellets. We're giving her a bit of pellet and the nutrient cake crumbled up. And I'm still putting a bit of seed mix in there just because I don't want her to starve. And she's a little on the lower side weight-wise anyway. That's a work in progress, and getting her onto nutrient cakes and pellets fully would be really good for her.
So in just a moment, you and I are going to discuss some other birds that are also living in your house right now. But before we move on, are there any last things you'd like to tell us about Tequila?
I haven't been saving a funny story.
That's okay.
But the dancing and saying her name, Tequila, is very sweet. It took me a couple of days to realize she was saying her name, and once I realized, it's as clear as day. So yeah, I think she would pick up some more words, and she's gonna have a great time with someone that will happily hang out with her. She's a very sweet bird, you have to be very careful not to get too attached when you're fostering. It'll be very easy just to adopt everybody that comes through. You know, I'm always caveating with people, you know, there's no such thing as a perfect bird. She will beak your jewelry. If she's on your shoulder and you're wearing earrings, she'll beak at your stuff. So, you know, that would be something to watch out for. But other than that, she's really fun to have. Just if you're working at your desk and you need a coworker, I think she would be a great applicant and candidate for the job.
Well, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing her with us.